What is up YouTube? It's Dr. Zora helping cure you from being a noob. Today's video is going to have the top 10 tips that you need to know to rank up to Immortal in Valorant. These are the exact same tips that I used personally. I was originally Gold 3 when I started ranked in Valorant, and with these tips I was able to accelerate my gameplay and rise up to Immortal 1. And you guys can do the exact same thing if you follow these steps. If this video helps you out, make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button, like the video, and comment down below on what your current rank is. I also stream on Twitch and we have an amazing Discord community, so make sure that you go into the description and follow me over there as well. Enough with the intro, let's get into the video. Jumping right into it, the first tip you need to know to rank up fast in Valorant is you need to pick a role and learn every agent in that role. Lots of players will randomly pick an agent that they like and just think nothing more of it. The main issue here though is that each agent has specific abilities that are meant for certain styles of play. You have duelists like Jett, Phoenix, Raze, and Reyna who are meant to go in and grab the frags. You then have sentinels like Sage and Cypher whose main role is to play defensive and deny the enemy push. Next you have controllers like Brimstone, Omen, and Viper whose main purpose is to utilize their smokes to deny enemy vision or to take control of a site or a choke point. And lastly, you have initiators such as Sova and Breach whose main purpose is to utilize abilities to gather information, find where the enemies are, and then from there getting crowd control. So what you want to do is identify the role that suits you and then learn how to play 2 or 3 agents in that category. This is really important as well. If you only have one agent that you're dead set on playing, you'll run into issues when someone else insta-locks your agent and then you have nothing else that you know how to play. So having 2 to 3 agents ensures that you can still play that same style and master that style, but also giving you that leeway so that if someone does steal your agent, you still have something else up your sleeve. Going into our second rank tip that will help you drastically, you want to frag out, especially if you're at the lower ranks. Performance matters a lot and it will really determine how much elo you get with each game. I'm gonna let my buddy Spincrash explain this one. He makes some incredible content, so make sure to check his channel out in the description and subscribe to him as well, and I'm gonna let him take it from here.
Hey everybody, it's Spin. Thanks so much to Zora for bringing me on. So here's my number 1 tip for y'all. If you're in the lower ranks like an iron, bronze, silver, and even gold, you're gonna have to frag out if you want to rank up. So let me unpack that. At the lower ranks, you're gonna struggle to find teammates that you can communicate effectively with or at all. Sadly, your teammates will probably let you down more often than not, so the only way to win is to really frag your way out of matches. Don't focus too much on the team play if you're in the lower ranks, that'll come later. For now, just focus on your individual mechanics and being one of the top fraggers in the match. If you need help on how to get your mechanics in Valorant on point, check out Dr. Zora's aim guide, which will be linked right up here.
Alright, thank you so much Spin for all that valuable information. We're going to go right ahead to tip number 3, which goes right along with tip number 2, and that is you should play Duelists. Again, your performance really matters in this game, especially at the lower ranks, and because of this, what you'll want to do is pick agents such as the Duelists. We got Phoenix, we got Reyna, Raze, and Jett, and these agents will have abilities that can allow you to get as many kills as possible. For example, Raze's ultimate, I don't really need to talk too much about it. You press R and then you just go in and get a general idea of where the enemies are and just aim in that general spot and you'll get a kill. Similarly with Jett, you can use her ultimate again and add her abilities along for the ride so you can go all over the place on the map, you can outmaneuver the enemies, and then again get some crazy kills and boost your elo with each game. Outside the ultimates, you still have supplemental abilities with agents such as Phoenix and Reyna, and I'm going to let Spin take over again on why he recommends those agents.
Phoenix and Reyna are actually considered to be low tier agents, but in low rank play, that's not super relevant to us. The reason why I'd recommend both of them is that they're both self-sustaining. Phoenix can heal with his wall and his molly, and Reyna can overheal when she gets her kills. For both of these agents, more survivability equals more kills, which equals more wins for you. They also both have their own flash, so you're not totally left in the dark when it comes to those 1v1s. Alright, that's my bit, back to Zora.
Now if those tips were not spicy enough for you, Tip number 4 is gonna really blow your mind. You wanna learn every map and figure out the most important areas that you need to contest in each map. Every map has a certain area that if you gain control of, you'll gain a massive advantage in the game. Because of this, you want to play these areas of the map both on the attacker side and the defender side to ensure that you are in control of the round, you get the most advantage for your team. And with that being said, let's go over what these most important areas are for each map. Starting off with bind, A short is definitely the area that you want to contest. It's the main spot that the enemies will push through or that you will attack through to get onto the A site, and along with that there is a teleporter there, and if you lose control of the teleporter, the enemy team can just teleport over and rotate to B very quickly, and you, if you're in the A site, you'll have to take a long rotation and you'll give up the map. Next up is split, and the main area to contest here is definitely mid. And this is because of all the rotational abilities you can do if you have mid control. On the attacker side, if you get mid, you can rotate into vents and go into A that way, or you can go into heaven and enter B, and then you can do a split push if you have teammates in garage on B, or we go back to A, you can go in A ramps and then overwhelm the enemies from multiple different angles. This concept pretty much applies to every single map. So on Ascent, the main area is again middle, and then on Haven, the area is middle as well, along with garage. Alright, we're gonna move over into tip number 5, and just before that, make sure again that you are subscribed to the channel and you've liked this video already. Now tip number 5 is communication and utilizing strategy at the higher ranks. Now I know we just said in an earlier tip that you need to focus on that individual play, you need to frag out, you need to perform well in order to rank up, but as you go higher and higher into the rankings, going up into platinum, diamond, and immortal, you will need to work more on team play. You won't be able to get those individual duels and just out aim everyone. Everyone's gonna be a lot better at this game at this point. They have better aim, they have better mechanics, they know what to do in certain situations, and as a result, those tricky aggressive plays won't really work out anymore. So what you need to do now is rely on strategy and calling out for your team. If you see enemies, make sure that you're calling it out so your team can rotate, and if you have a certain strategy in mind or a bomb site that you want to go into and take, make sure that you're calling that out to your team as well so that everyone is coordinated and know what's going on. Alright, if you made it this far, you're gonna hit a gold mine right here with tip number 6. Tip number 6 is learning how to use the operator. The operator is such a good weapon, but it's so underutilized, especially at the lower rankings, because I think people are just afraid to use it. It's so good for getting an easy pick to get a man advantage. With the operator, you'll be able to gain a ton of map control for your team, and then you'll be able to easily push or attack a site. Either that, or you'll force the enemy team to have to rotate or reposition into awkward situations as a result of one of their players going down. Likewise, on the defender side, it's really useful for controlling a choke point. All you have to do is scope in there, hold, and then just wait for the enemies to line up to your crosshair, and then you get a pretty good pick, and then your spot is pretty much denied for the attacker side, and this will force them to have to try to push on another area. Having a good operator can completely turn the tide of a match. There are games I've had where I've barely hit any rifle shots, I just wasn't feeling it, I wasn't winning any duels, and then I just grabbed the operator and just started crushing the enemy team. Some games I end up not even getting many rifle kills, and I just dropped 30 bombs just off of the operator. It's that impactful, and not only that, but with my kills, I open up the attack, or I can tighten up the defense for my team. Those are the basics for how to use the operator. If you want more in-depth tips and tricks, make sure that you're checking out my sniper guide that I'll put in the description down below. Alright, tip number 7, this one is crucial as well, and you need to learn how to use the Phantom or Vandal. I see a lot of players that know that you need to buy this gun, but they don't really know how to use it. I see a lot of people that will just spray and pray and just hope for the best, and that is not the way that you want to use this weapon. You want to use it in a burst or tapping fashion. What this means is you want to eliminate the enemy within the first 10 bullets. With this, you'll be able to control the recoil really easily. All you have to do is have good crosshair placement and just pull straight down with the mouse, and that will control the recoil fairly well. Beyond that, if you go beyond the 10 bullets, you'll have to deal with RNG, and this is the randomness that can happen with the Phantom or Vandal. Beyond these first 10 bullets, you'll start to notice that the spray starts to swerve to the left and the right, and this is actually a randomized pattern. So if you spray beyond those 10 bullets, the pattern beyond that will be random every single time. So you can't predict this, you can't control it, so you really want to rely on those first 10 bullets that are most accurate. So you want to really practice on using that burst firing or doing the tapping to get the kills. And if you need more details on that, I have a full rifle guide video that I can put in the description as well. Tip number 8, this may be a pretty boring one for you guys, but it's so important and a lot of low rank players will not even look at this, and this is watching your team's economy as well as the enemy's economy. I will give it up to you straight, the best weapons in this game are the Spectre, which you want to buy after a pistol round, the Phantom or Vandal, or then lastly the Operator. You want to save up money for these as well as heavy armor, and you need to make sure that you have the credits to purchase these weapons, but you also need to make sure that your team has that money as well. Let's say that you have 3,900 credits, which is the minimum that you need to purchase a rifle and heavy armor, but then your team only has 2,000 credits. So if you purchase this weapon and the rest of your team only has pistols, you're still at a pretty big disadvantage if the other team brought properly and they have full rifles and armor on all 5 of their members. So what you want to do is click on tab, check the enemy's money on the right side of the scoreboard, and just make sure that everyone's on the same page. If everyone has 3,900 and beyond, you should be good to go to get a full purchase. But the thing that people overlook is looking at the enemy's economy. If you hit tab again, you'll also see the enemy's credits on the right side of the scoreboard, and you want to pay attention to this and know if your enemy can buy or they are on a light save. If they're able to buy and have those 3,900 credits or more, then you know that they'll probably be playing a pretty standard position and you know where they are in sights. But if they do have a low buy, you might expect something tricky like a 5-man push into B or a 5-man push into A, and you want to be aware of that and have your weapons and abilities ready to counter it. Alright, we're just about done, but don't miss out on tip number 9. This is another one that I see all the time, and it does kind of frustrate me a little bit. You need to have a good crosshair and a good sensitivity. Now I will start off that crosshair and sensitivity is mostly up to your preference, but there are some foundational rules and some foundational ranges that you really want to stay in order to be as effective as possible. Essentially, you want a pretty standard size crosshair. You want to have a pretty low sensitivity in which you can become an arm aimer as well as a wrist aimer. I won't go into too many more details than that, but if you do want more specifics, make sure that you check my crosshair video as well as my sensitivity video that I just posted, and I'll leave that again in the descriptions. And last but not least, we have tip number 10. Thank you so much guys for sticking with this video. Make sure that you're maximizing your FPS as much as possible. I know some of you guys really care about the visuals, but if you want to be at a competitive level with Valorant, you really need to go with the lowest settings possible that will give you the best advantage. The only exception I would say is your resolution. If you can deal with a good native resolution such as 1920 by 1080, I would just stick with that. But for all the other settings, I would recommend you put them as low as possible. I would say the minimum FPS that you need is at least 60 FPS, and then it just gets better and better from there, and you'll be able to perform a lot better with a higher FPS. So turn the material quality down, turn that texture quality down, turn VSync off, get anti-aliasing low, get anisotropic filtering low, just turn all of that stuff off and you'll get a lot more FPS, and you'll notice that the game will just feel smoother overall, and you can just feel like you'll be able to aim better and perform a lot better, and that will help you rank up a lot faster. That is all I have for this video. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I really hope that this helps you out and you guys rank up to Valorant. If this did help you out, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below on what your current rank is. Also, again, make sure that you're checking out Spincrash's channel as well. I'll put him up here on the screen, but he is also on the description. Make sure that you subscribe to his channel as he's got some amazing content as well. I also stream on Twitch, and I do have a Discord community that you can ask me more specific questions, so make sure to check that all out in the description, as well as all the other videos that I mentioned. They will all be in the description. That's all I have for today. I'm Dr. Zora, helping cure you from being a noob, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.